Alright guys, welcome back to Antiquated Builds. So, bit of a bonus video this week. Gonna build something that's, I'd say it's a little bit crappy, to be honest. Bad joke, but yeah, what we're gonna be building is we're gonna be building a latrine, or like a Roman public toilet. Now, I was kind of thinking the other day, and I was thinking and going, there is like zero sanitation whatsoever in my city, and we're gonna have to figure out a way to get all the sanitation out to the sea. So I thought, why not build a latrine? So I'm gonna build a latrine. So I got some 3 blocks here, terracotta as normal, basically. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be building a little shape like this. So I'm gonna build it right next to the insula that we've just built. Now I might move this later on, so the local residents don't get a whiff of the building. Yeah, so it's about 16 blocks. That is decent size. And I'm going to be basically making a very simple rectangular latrine. Now, if you don't know what a latrine is, or you've not seen any examples of a latrine, as I get a mega lag spike, oh there. Roman public toilets were typically the most common way to go to the toilet in Roman cities. Now, more expensive, more luxury domus had bigger toilets, and yeah, so they had their own. Luxury Roman domus had their own private toilets, whereas people who were a bit more normal and weren't upper class could not afford toilets in their own houses, so they would build something like this, or they would have something like this in their city. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just basically be building some stuff here. So I'm putting some bricks here. I'm not going to do it like totally as just single terracotta then white. That's a bit boring, and we've done it a few times now. I'm going to knock a hole out for the door as well. I'm going to build 4 up with some bricks. And please feel free to pause whenever in the video. If you want to build along with me, feel free to build along. You can slow down the video, you can pause the video, whatever. It might be a bit disjointed with the commentary, so I do apologise, but yeah, I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to be building a andesite doorway here, as we've done before in some of our other houses. We've done in this house over here that we've done about a month ago or so. And it's the same design of door frame basically. And it looks quite nice. I like these sorts of things. It adds a bit of extra colour to it. They can get quite boring if they're just red and white, all these houses. So if you add a bit of grey stone, you add some like slit windows like this, then yeah, and that looks quite nice. As the entrance to a public toilet, that is beautiful, I must say. So I'm going to be basically trying to add, what I want to do is I want to add some windows to the side of this. Now I don't want to make the windows too big, because I think that I'm going to be having another building on the other side of it, so there really isn't any point in having big windows because you're not going to get any light in. Now sadly, I think this is going to be a bit of a dingy interior, dingy in the fact that it's dark and wet, so yeah, but I'm going to keep some small windows in there. It needs some ventilation. It's a toilet, quite frankly, so you need to get the clean out your odors and get a little bit of light in there as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to be doing, as you can see, as I'm doing now, and yeah, so just stare, upside down stare, and you get a nice little slit window with some smooth quartz. Pretty simple, and it's really simple shape, but it actually looks really nice. So yeah. Now what I'm thinking I'm going to put a andesite floor in this, but I'm going to mix it up with some stone. Now, typically what you would have found with these is you would have toilets around the outside. So as you can see, we're going to put basically the toilet benches sort of thing around the outside, and I'm going to use this with stairs. Now, my idea for this is I want to have a fully working, like, hooked up sewage system, and I'm going to put these under the streets, that's going to run out to the sea, which is also going to help to drain rainfall. So you see, we've got 2 banks of toilet seats there. It's quite funny because in the Roman Empire, these people go to the toilet and they would talk to each other and debate. It's quite funny. And then you would have another channel in the floor. Now, I've seen conflicting information about this, where it was used to wash your hands, it was used to dip your sponge on a stick that was used for cleaning in as well. But you had this channel in there. I'm just going to make it a little bit lighter because we can't see it. But yeah, I'm going to put a channel in there with stone bricks. It could be an andesite as well. I just think, you know what, let's mix it up a bit. It looks quite cool. So yeah, you're going to have these two channels here that's next to the bank of toilets, like so. It's a nice long room, it's quite spacious, and then you're going to have your toilet bank back there. Now how I'm going to do this is I'm going to put some light grey carpet and I'm going to use mangrove trapdoors. Yeah, as I go outside, and yeah, so I'm going to put some what's it called, just thinking, yeah, so I'm going to put some light grey carpets and mangrove trapdoors on top of these toilets basically, and that's going to make your toilet seat and the stone around it. Now typically, if you've seen any photos of Roman latrines, things in Ephesus or Pompeii or Rome, or you know, all over the place really, they were these like stone holes. In some occasions they were wood holes, in other occasions. Now I'm going to do it as like a wood hole that looks kind of like the mangrove trapdoors. I can't really see anything else, I mean, that looks like it could be a hole that would look like stone. I can't really see anything in the block lists, so I'm going to use this. And yeah, now I'm going to leave the corners for the moment because I want one of these to be the access to the sewage. And what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to actually run those can come out there, and then what I can do is I can hook, there you go, I can hook that up to my overall sewage system. There you go. Wow, that worked a treat, that did. So the water can come up there and it can drain into this, and then this can potentially run out into under the street or into another channel. There you go. Your waste is going to be drained into there. Basically, I think the channels for these were much bigger in Roman times, because that could be blocked up like so easily. I mean, that there, imagine that could be blocked so easily, that. But you know what? It's Minecraft. We're making do with what we have. Now, I'm going to put some cauldrons in the middle, and I'm going to try and figure out, you know what? That works perfectly. I'm going to put some cauldrons in there. Now, I've seen them where they're like stone, and they put these little... I tell you what, that works perfectly. I didn't expect the lightning rod to perfectly match the stick on the sponge on brush, which is that's quite funny, to be honest. Perfectly matches the shape. I was thinking, oh, I'll put a stick or something, but that looks exactly like what it looks like. So that's perfect. There we go. We're going to use that, and we could maybe put some on the side. I don't know. Let's fill these up with water. But basically, these sponges were used for cleaning things. I'm going to put some taps there as well, so it's going to run the water through there. Now, I'm going to fill these in with a little bit of water, and you have your channels in your floor. That's going to run into the sewage as well. So there you go. That works a treat. Beautiful. Now as well, I mean, you could actually do this floor on like bricks. I haven't tried this in bricks. I mean, this is the first one I'm building, to be honest, but yeah. And then under the toilet seats, we can then put... I tell you what, it would be really, really good if the water would actually run, so I could drop something in there and then it would carry it out through the sewage, but it's just not going to work, because it doesn't work quite like that when you place water on top of stairs. Yep. There you go, and that's going to drain out into our main sewage channel. Great, so you can sit there, you can do your business, and then the water's going to take it away. And then these, it's a shame that these actually don't match up in the shader pack, to be honest. I think I've actually, like, you know, messed around with it, but yeah, these were basically where you would dip your sponges in the water. From what I can understand. If I'm wrong about that and the channels were used for something else and the cauldrons were used for cleaning them, let me know. But yeah, my understanding is you would dip the sponges in there and then you can clean yourself from there with the sponge sticks. And there you go. That is the basic layout of the latrine. So I'm going to cover these up for the moment. I think one of these I'm going to make into a service entrance to fix the sewer whenever it gets clogged up. There you go. You have a general nice few windows. You've got the tap that's going to put the water in or there, so when the water comes in from the aqueduct, you can let it out there. And then what we can do is we can start to make the sort of sewer connection to the outside. I've just erased literally what I just did there by putting the car. Anyway, so for the next bit, I want to build the roof. Now, it's just going to be a super simple roof. I'm going to have it overhanging on the front and back, and I'm not going to have it overhanging on the side. But first of all, I'm going to put some spruce plank blocks at intervals, like so. So I'm going to do it like that here. And then I'm going to go, you know, something like this. I think that's 4 from the edge, and then it's 4, something like, I think it's something like that. And then I'm going to put some upside down stairs. I need to just make it a bit brighter because it's really dark. So we've got 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's 4, 4, 4 on the edge. So of course it's 16. So you got, you know, 3 times 12. 3 times 4 is 12. You've got 4 spruce blocks, 16. And then here, I don't really know what to do with the ceiling here, to be honest. I was thinking of doing the upside down stairs again, but I'm going to try something a little bit different. Maybe something like this. Just see how it looks. You're going to have to bear with me for a second. I might change this. Yeah, that makes sense to do that. And this one here. That one here. I don't know. It could look alright doing that. Let's see. Let's see how it looks. First of all, I could put some maybe mangrove or spruce stairs like this. That looks a bit crap. I don't know. Maybe this bit. I mean, you guys can have a bit of fun and do your own sort of thing. I'm gonna try some mangrove slabs to see if I don't know. Actually, if that looks any good. Let's fill them all in. As you can see, my thought process when I make these things is not so straightforward. I do, you know, I think it's good to try out some other things because, you know, you never know, it might look good. I've got a feeling that this is going to look really bad, but I'm going to try it first and then we'll see what it will look like. Yeah, that looks really bad. Oh dear. I mean, I'm sorry about that. I might have to leave a timestamp in the video to skip this part out. But yeah, that looks really bad. I'm sorry if you've just built that. I'm really, really sorry. I'm gonna have to widen this out. Set spruce. Damn it. Set spruce underscore. That's the one. There you go. Only for me to then delete. You know what? It's maybe not the best. I'm just gonna do the same. You know, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna go and do the upside down spruce stairs as we normally do. It's quite boring to do the same thing again, but you know, I'm devoid of ideas for this ceiling. So if you have any better ideas and you've tried something else in the comment, you know, building along with this, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you found something that looks really good in terms of a ceiling. So yeah. It's quite dark in here. I mean, it is a bit of a shame because, you know, you want to get the nice light in here, but then it is a toilet. So, you know, maybe we can put some pots, a bit of decoration. Yeah, see, you get if you put a bigger window, you get some more light in there, but then But then if I build something next door, then everyone can just look into the toilet. Yeah, see, that's a massive window. That's a really big window. So if you went to, you went to go and use, the public facilities, you wouldn't be so happy that the next door neighbour is just looking into the public facilities while you're, doing your business. I'm going to use some lanterns for now. If you're building this in a field and it's for the workers, or you're building this, in an area where you might not have a house next to it, then of course put the bigger windows, because it's just going to look nicer inside. But I'm going to put some lilies. Yeah, might look quite nice. In fact, we can put some candles somewhere. Maybe we can put some candles in the corner. But I don't know, I'm going to leave that for the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the roof. Now, the roof is going to be super simple. It's going to be a ultra simple roof. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with bricks, like so. In fact, no, not like that. Sorry about that. I'm going to go with bricks like so. Now I'm going to bring them all the way to the edge on the front and back, but not on the sides, because I want it to overhang on the front and back, so you get a nice, like, shadow on the front. So then you can put the fence gates that act like as a support. Whereas on the sides, I want to be able to have a building that comes really close up to it and then just doesn't block the sun into the alleyway. Because as well, like if you have another overhang, it's going to touch the building next door, the insular, and it's just going to get no light in that alleyway. It's going to be really, really dark. So, maybe I could try this. That looks really bad. Doesn't look Roman at all. Let's do this again. Yeah, looks probably the best idea, this. So yeah, what? That I'm quite happy with that. That looks quite nice. As far as a toilet goes, you wouldn't be. I mean, it really depends on your preference, but it's quite a nice toilet. So, just going to be doing a super simple slab roof. Make sure you put some light in there so the bats don't get in there. Like so. It's getting a bit dark. And then just fill it in. There you go, look at that. That looks nice. Now I'm going to put some nice cauldrons and pots on the outside. Look at that. Maybe knock one down a bit. Look at that. That is an impressive toilet. An impressive latrine. Honestly, this is probably the silliest video I'm gonna make, because I mean it could get sillier. Just made it worse. It is a toilet, but for the sake of realism, let's be honest, you gotta put some public facilities for your citizens. Otherwise, it's gonna be a sticky situation. It's gonna be a sticky one. So yeah. You got to do that one. In fact, let's put some candles in here. Super nice. Look at that. Maybe we could put some over here as well. Oh, look at that. It's gone from being dingy to actually quite atmospheric in here. Lovely. Now, what you might have seen, if you've seen any of if you've been to any Roman ruins or even Greek ruins, to be honest, but a lot of Roman ruins have graffiti. So it's been found, and I think there is archaeological evidence to back this up, that it's been found that in Roman latrines people would draw on the walls and they'll write stuff on the walls. Now, I'm not going to write Latin on the walls. I'm but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some random letters, loads of I's and V's. Maybe I can draw a man or something like this. Yeah, stick man. There you go. To look like as if someone has been drawing on the walls, graffitiing the public facilities. People did it back in the day, they still do it now. It's a part of public facilities. So people have just been going in, they've graffitied the walls a bit, they've drawn a message to their friend, or they've drawn a message to the person they don't like, maybe their neighbour. You know, this is my toilet seat. Thank you very much. Some buttons, maybe. Dirty it up a bit. What else could we put on here? There are some banners. Some banners that's like towels or something on the wall. From when you washed your hand or something. I don't know. But I think that looks pretty nice. Now, to fix our sewer situation, we got to figure out, the whole point of this was we're going to sanitize the city, right? So I don't know if I want to have like an open sewer. Obviously not. It's not really realistic either. The Romans had full sewer systems. You know, there's like these amazing sewers in ancient Rome, in modern day Rome, that the ancient Romans built. So what my plan is I'm gonna. This street right here is quite deep. Now, if you have sewers that are running on all your streets, then you can remove, you know, all your waste. So what I can do here, in fact, get my world editor back out. Let's make a hole. Oops. There we go. Something like this. Now, I can make this. My plan for this, right, is I want to. As I get another lag spike. My plan for this is I want to have it so it's a sewer that you can walk through. Now, if you you know, if you had to sneak around the city, arguably the sewers would be the best place to do it. You know, it stinks, it's nasty, it's wet, but no one's going to be down there. So maybe it's like an essence of world building. I mean, by now, you know, I think these have become a bit more secure in the modern day, but you know, I'm going to have a nice sewer. Bit of an oxymoron on that, but anyway. So yes, I hope you can see something. I certainly can't. I can see a little bit, but yeah. Then I can link these two up together. We'll not do that. No, we can link these two. This is the problem with world, it makes you lazy, and then you just put like, you fill in walls that you probably could just do yourself. There you go. Nice, look at that. So now my two toilet channels, my waste channels, are now connected together. Now what I can do is I can start to make my main sewer channel. Now what I'm going to do is I want to add some debris in this. In fact, what I might do... I tell you what, I'm going to have to make this lower, aren't I? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to make this lower. Sorry about that. Basically, it's not going to be tall enough for someone to walk in there. So... yeah, let's just set it as water. Let's set the rest as remove the rest to make it some air. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, look at that. And then you can get a nice archway. You can get a nice archway that runs through the underground sewer, and you can walk through. Be quite atmospheric. So it's the sort of thing that if you're building a city, I mean, you can add, like, you know, you can have these under every single street. I mean, it's not going to benefit you at all, any of this in survival, but it's kind of cool. And it's, if you want to have like a secret passageway, I'm blocking up the sewer with you know what. Yeah, got to add a bit of realism, to be fair. So there you go. Look at this. It's a bit dark now. Let's get a lantern out. God, look at that. See, imagine this in survival. You know, you built this as like with your mates, and you know you now have a secret channel to hide in. Look at that. If you turn off like the name tags, it would be brilliant. Oh, I just blocked that. Anyway. You get the idea. You get the idea. It's basically, you have a sewer access channel there. I'm going to block this one up because you can't get in through there. And I'm going to put a trapdoor here. I might just put a bamboo trapdoor or something like that. Maybe put a sign that's just going to say, maintenance access, something like that. Just make it a bit lighter again. There we go. Yeah, something like this. You can have a bamboo trapdoor. Happy days. Sewer. Sewer. Actually, let's just call it maintenance. Probably more fitting, to be honest. Because realistically, you want to be going down there for maintenance, not just like as a leisurely stroll through the sewers. There we go, maintenance. And there you go. You can get in there now, and you can go to the, you can use your public restrooms. Beautiful. And then the last thing we're going to do is just to fix this street here. There you go. Good trick. If you've not used welded it before, a good trick to make like good like stony roads and stuff. Mix the andesite, stone, and cobblestone. It looks really nice. So yeah. So there we go. There is our latrine. And we've got a nice alleyway between it. Cool. So there is our latrine. Bit of a silly one, to be honest. It really isn't going to be beneficial to your survival world or your creative world, to be honest. But in real life, we need these sorts of things, and I thought, you know what? Why not build one? It's pretty cool, actually. It's actually really cool. This would be what you could do. This could be a great place to like hide chests in survival. You could like have chests hidden in this, or I don't know, hidden in the toilets or something. If you can make it work, then you can get down here. I mean, you get the idea. I've blocked the entrance now. It's stuck anyway. You get the idea. It's the entrance into the sewer that we've just built. But yeah, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Bit of an odd one today, bit of a bonus video, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video today. I've had a bit of fun making it. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.